So the meeting can return to session. The calculation has taken place by our institutional research person. Before I ask her to come to the podium and speak, I need to locate her. All right. Oh, all right. So what I will do, as advised, I will thank everyone for applying, as was mentioned earlier, going through this process as well. We know it is not easy, but it's also extremely important. And so we, on behalf of the board, we thank all of you for taking the time to applying and going through this process. It is a tremendously talented pool of candidates. We're very fortunate in that regard, and we wish the individuals that are going to be the top three. We could go to 4 or 5 to be interviewed on Thursday for additional questions here in the chamber. If there are individuals that are not here that are in the top group, they'll be notified by the Superintendent President's office tomorrow, close to almost today. But and then we'll move forward. There will be different questions that have been developed again by the ad hoc committee to be asked at that point in time. So with that, did General Counsel, did I hit all the proper comments? Do you need to add anything at this time? All right, then at this point, if Eva...
No.
We'll go check on.
She's still tallying?
Calling me to make a trustee comment. What we're reading right now.
Oh, right. Any other comments? Members of the board, Chair recognizes Trustee Otto. Anyone else want to speak? Followed by
Sure.
Trustee Zia.
No, I want to thank everybody for being here through this very long evening. I'd like to really quickly review how we did this, because I think it's important to understand how we strive for it to be open and transparent and fair. We had a committee that was appointed to go through, to set up a process or to make recommendations to the board as to what the process would be, including what steps needed to be gone through. That committee met 3 times. We had public input at all of those meetings. We did extensive outreach to try and get people to come and tell us what they thought were the qualities that a trustee and a provisional trustee should have. They made recommendations to the board. They were largely adopted by the board, tweaked ever so slightly. And then the process that we've just been through for this was had an emphasis on being fair. And the fairness came from individual scoring by each trustee, with no collaboration with anybody else or conversation with anybody else. We used a forced choice model, which basically said the first person who interviewed was number 1, and if the building fell down and nobody else was interviewed, that person would be the provisional trustee. We went 1 through 11 and constantly changing the rankings as we went through that process. We then individually turned in confidentially what those results were for each of the trustees, and then our Eva Bagg, who runs our institutional effectiveness program, went back and has summed those over the 4 trustees, and will come up with the rankings that I think we're about to announce. But it was done so that we would try and do away with criticisms that people didn't know what was going on, that it was in some way not transparent or knowable, and most importantly, that it wasn't fair for some reason because the things were pre-selected. I think we pretty much got that idea out of it. So that's where we are now. I think in listening to everyone, any one of the interviewees could be the provisional trustee. everybody's qualified, and I don't mean legally qualified, I mean qualified as an individual to sit. And I was very, very impressed with every single person that interviewed. And as they say about democracy, it's not always pretty, but it's seldom ugly. So we've gone through this, and we're now about to find out what the next steps are.
Chair recognizes Trustee Zia.
Thank you, Chair Kellogg. I just wanted to thank you again for being here. Personally, it was a very difficult decision for me to rank among such a great caliber of candidates. And some of you made me cry while I was doing reference checks. I mean, it was just inspiring. And by all means, if you're not happy with our decision tonight, you have every right to challenge it. And we don't want to put a price tag on democracy. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, members of the board? I can only tell you, it'd be like, for me, Christmas morning, my parents explained to me what values Christmas, we want to know what the answer is.
Because I don't want to be left out. I was very impressed by all the candidates also, and I'm giving a pitch for the Long Beach City College Foundation. If you want to get involved and help the college, that's a good way to do it.
All right, with that, Eva, the floor is yours. Is there any need to an explanation, or are you just going to bring the results up? And what we're about to see? I will, as she's preparing that, once we have this, I will need a motion from the floor to approve the listing, the applicants. There will be discussion after that, as always with a motion, and then a vote. It's not in our computer screens.
It's up here. Okay.
So the total scores are shown, second from the left column. The lowest scores indicate the top ranking. So you can see the first three, the top three, there's no separation in the total scores. Between the third and the fourth rank, there's a 1-point differential, and between the fourth and the fifth, a 1-point differential.
So we have on the floor, you see the ranking. I will entertain a motion to approve top three.
I would make a motion that we interview all top 5 candidates, and the reason for that motion is that since the first 3 are within 1 point of one another, the number 4 position is merely 2 points behind, and the 5th position is merely 2 points behind that. I think we ought to interview all 5.
I second the motion.
There is a motion and a second on the floor. Discussion. Members of the board, I will start unless I hear none. I will just, on my ranking that I personally had, it was very difficult. And I was also, though, looking to please don't look at this as the ranking as it's going to be. I wanted to see if I could get a group of candidates that I would like to interview a second time. So the ranking you see as far as indicated by myself, essentially I wanted to have those 3 individuals interviewed again. That is not my ranking necessarily on where they sit, but it is something as I was putting down, and I'm pleased with the candidates that I'm seeing in the top 3, and the motion that was for the top 5. I'm supportive of that because I think it's a good group. Other members of the board? If not, there is a motion and a second on the floor to interview all 5 of the listed candidates. There's no other comments at this time. Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll.
President Kellogg.
Aye.
Vice President Otto.
Aye.
Member Baxter.
Aye.
Member Zia.
Aye.
And student trustee Root will be an advisory.
Thank you. We will then have a short break, just so everyone who wants to leave may do so. We'll reconvene in 5 minutes. The 5 finalists will be contacted by the Superintendent President's Office tomorrow with instructions for the final interviews that will take place on Thursday. Thank you again very much for applying, going through the process. We thank you all, and I believe the second area will be well served by any of these candidates. The meeting is recessed for 5 minutes. Thank you all.